Howdy, this is Japan again. This session, this lecture is about diabetic food. Is how we're going to cook. What are the things you need to know in when you do the cooking? This is a little bit different from the classical Thai cooking. So because the preparation and the ingredient and the thing what you need to accomplish in the style cooking, but particularly is just cooking for Thai diabetic food. Okay, this is new. This is a new thing that I just invented. I just created. So based on the knowledge that I know about classical Thai cooking. Okay, this is something that it I think is unique specifically for the people who have diabetes. This is the food that you need to look into it. Okay, I learned how to cook them. Okay, but this is just the knowledge that you need to know before you really learn how to cook them. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Before you start thinking about to cook the diabetic food, so you have to be cautious about a little bit of your, not a little bit, a lot for your organ. This you have to know about your organ. So you see, all in your body, this is it metabolism effects when you have a diabetes. That what is involved all of it, the thyroid and neurosopy, nerve, the brain, the eye, the gum, the heart, the liver. This is everything, every part of your body affected. Okay, when you have diabetes, that what is a lot of things going on. So you have to know the nutrition value. That what the big thing that I did it, and I put a lot of information in that. And then if you follow, all the uh, presentation that I give, the knowledge that I give, so you will learn a lot more. The nutrition, what we are talking about. Basic the digestion system, that what I've been talking all about selection of quality ingredient. This is another thing that I will more emphasis from now on, that you have to really try to bring the quality food. If you can afford it, if you're not, you grew yourself or no kind of thing, whatever it is, do whatever it takes to really reversing your diabetes. Okay, you have to maintain nutrition while cooking. This is a big thing that you have more involved, that I don't see how many people capable to explain it, and I will try to explain it to you with a lot of example of the ingredient, the enzyme that we want to keep, because sometimes, more of the time, when we do Thai cooking, we're not concerned about this. We're concerned about the taste, flavor, texture, smell good, look good, and really delicious food. But now you have to, for diabetic cooking, so we have to concern on the nutrition value while you're cooking. Because, for example, if you do garlic, if you cook for a long time, then your allergen disappear. So you don't have that kind of value for your system. So you need to back up and relearn how to really do this, because specific technique to try to minimize the loss of the your enzyme. Okay, is the lecture going to explain it to you. The portion of the food intake is really really important, because you will not overeating. So if you understand how your portion of your food eat meal going to be, okay, and we're going to establish this with the student when I do my classes. So the nutrition and the menu weekly plan, that what you eat, meaning you have to rotate your food, rotation of the food, what kind of food do you have. This is, it's a lot of people say, oh, I we know how to do that. I say, yeah, you can plan yourself if you understand what I'm talking about, all the nutrition and, eat day, each week. So you should got all the nutrient into the system to revitalize your organ. Okay, that is important. Okay, you now I could show what it is. The leveling of the the portion of your food. Okay, so this is, I think, it my secret that I know how to do this, and then because I will play with it, I do this kind of thing, and then to do some rough calculation, how many percent you supposed to eat, within the week. This is the weekly your food rotation. This is a low keto low carb, yeah, chart that I created. So this is like a portion. The protein is 30%. Usually this is like decided it by the dishes. Whatever you cook, you probably have more protein, 30%. And cruciferous is 25%. It's hand in hand between meat and vegetable. Okay, and now we're going to concentrate on fat. You got fat 10%, whatever it come from. If you got fat from cooking oil, fat from pork, meat, cut meat, those kind of things, chicken fat, all these things is accumulated to be in it. Just everything, you don't have to be all specific, how many 5%, that's just approximately. See, you said the protein 30%, you know, cauliflower 25% more, you eat more protein than a vegetable, and then you eat more fat. The hard nut shell, that when you snack it, okay, that's a handful, like about 5%. It's some people, they keep on eating half of the bag, those kind of things. That's not how we do them. That we suddenly you overload with the fat from the nut. So just be careful. And then gain and starch. This is a lot of things that, because the you talk about eating bread, forget about the bread, because that what is starch coming from. You can eat some grain, the 10% of grain, that means a half of a cup or 1 cup of rice, cooked rice, steamed rice. It's not the stir fry rice, because stir fry rice we have a lot more thing in there. This is pure rice cooking in the boiling water. Okay, now in the rice cooker, whatever you do, it's about 10%, not more than that. If you have more than that, then you your sugar will spike, because all these will convert to sugar. Okay, and then the unripe fruits, because I love to eat fruit, because Thailand has a lot of fruit, and then everywhere in the world you go have a lot of fruit. But you can give about 5%, you get more or less, but you don't eat the whole thing. Like if I buy the mangoes, I eat half of it. It's like after the meal, okay? And you get the whole mangoes, that you got a lot of problem, because it's sugar, okay? Because you have the sugar spice, and then you have herb and spice you add in there. So it's a lot of things that you put in there, a lot more herb, that more than normal, that you can do the cooking. You add more, like ginger, but you do fresh ginger, galang, everything have to be fresh, not, you know, not it's kind of small thing like a spice. We treated herb and spice totally different spice for you to kick it up. So when you do like a call for turmeric, you sometimes in the curry, yeah, you can do that with the powder, but it's better off to smash it and then pound it your turmeric and make it with your curry. So those type of things, that what we go cooking, not just using all the dry spice not going to do much for your system. Okay, and cruciferous flour or cruciferous vegetable is if you capable to eat them raw, eat the best. Okay, you can avoid you cook it. You have to be fast cooking, learn new technique about how to do stir fry, those type of things that are going to be in part of the Thai diabetics cooking. Okay, so in the chart they put a percent in there to how much it's going to be somewhere. Now, this is roughly. This is some people who you want something else, eat something else, add more did or man. That is you welcome to do it because this is what I do. How I do that. I got divided it, and this is going to be the plan for my weekly. That what I do. But now since I reverse it, I eat everything. I don't care. Worry about all these things. But still, the portion I control more. Still keep controlling. So that's why I don't eat too much food. So, but make sure you have nutrition, herbs, all these kind of thing in your system because it could go in and help you out. Okay, we're going to see a little bit more what the food look like. Okay. So this is a typical meal consumption. This is like a portion of this, but this is, you know, I tried to put this one in there. This is nut that you can shell nut. The tree nut that is good. Handful, but not that much. Not just a little bit of this, a little bit that. A little that. You can mix them, or you can cheat or the almond, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, but you have to have the nut into your system. Okay, you like when I do this kind of dish. You see the combination of meat, vegetable, probiotic food. You know, prebiotic, probiotic food. Those kind of things. Yeah, every dishes have to have all those things. You have meat, you have vegetable, you have probiotic. That's the key. The three main things that you want to eat every day is your combination of your food. If you're going to eat the fruit, you eat with the meal, or after the meal right away. Don't have the break and try to come in and shove it in your mouth with all these sweet things. So they're not going to help your system because you don't want to have the interruption of the digestion in your system. You want to be continuity. That's why you eat two meal or one meal, whatever you do. You eat it after you finish. You stop until for the next meal. You don't skip. Oh, I eat it later because everything is count at the meal when the stomach start digestion. That means you count one meal, whatever you eat it in there. So just be careful with that thing about putting in your head, okay, whatever you do, even though only the fruit that they call the meal, because your body start to digest again, you just waking up your digestion system again. That what is going to cause a lot more problem because your stomach need a rest. Your digestion system need a rest, okay? That's why you see a lot of people when they really want to lose weight doing things, they eat one meal a day. So that your metabolism keep on working until you finish your finish digestion. So sometimes take 2 hours and then take another 2 hours, and that 48 hours for the whole thing to digest it. So that's why you have to be careful what you plan, amount you're going to eat, those kind of things. So if you eat two meals, so you don't have to, you know, big pile each meal, those kind of things. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is just to let you know that okay, this is how what I think that should be in the three things. Okay, the green cruciferous flour, vegetable, and probiotic like kimchi, like all nut, all these kind of things should be in there. And the meat, and you have vegetable, and don't forget cucumber if you have the kidney, liver problem, those kind of things. Just eat the cucumber before you eat the meal. Okay, that is going to help it out a lot. Okay, the cooking, cook. This is the person that they put in there. You see a fat, protein, everything. The protein is 30, 25 is better on it. So this is like I spread it out so you can see clear easily what are the things it need to be set it up at a percent. Okay, this way you have more control. All right. Hopefully you get it. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper on the food digestion system. Okay, because there's a lot of things going on when you eat. You know, really, I was talking about the pH before, right? That's how it works. That's why pH is important. That you know what kind of food come out. You know, you go in about pH 7.5, you come out it's about 7. pH about 7, it's all unusual, those kind of things. Because inside your body start working all kind of things, you know. That what we talk about. That's why it takes 48 hours, 24 hours to 48 hours to do the digestion because the the the, the digestion system it is involved with the this much your stomach, your liver, your gallbladder, or your small intestine and large intestine. So it everything involved. Your pancreas too. That's why if you eat a lot of food, they have to do a lot of work. Okay, if you eat just the right amount, so they don't have to do too much. And if you eat a toxin, the food that has toxin in it that come in with it, though, then they have to work a little bit more to get rid of. The liver have to get rid of it, so they have to work more. So just be understood when you eat. This is involved in the system of digestive system. Okay. And if you do the research, dig into the YouTube, so you will see a lot of people that doing that. This is one of the shot that it pretty good. So if you drink water, you probably, you know, it take about 5 minutes to go around with to the water going through your system. Okay, you eat grape, you eat apple, then that's the time to take the digest, digesting time. Really, digestion time is very vary based on the food. You eat potato, it's 60 minutes. Yeah, if you eat, walnut, it's 2 or 3 minute digestion time because you chew, you all these kind of things. They're all different. So you can look into it. If you don't trust this, you don't believe it, just look into it, how much, you know, how long we take to digest each specific ingredient. Okay, it's good to know, but this is, I found that this is the best one to explain it to people to have, okay, when you eat food, you eat everything in your stomach, but you should know how long it take with this, with that. That's why even 24 to 48 hours each meal that you do, the digestion system have to work. Okay, and if you eat a lot more meat, a lot of things, the digestion have to do more work, and then if you have eat the food that's not safe, it have some kind of weird thing in there, have toxin in that. The liver have to work harder. All the things have to do with your digestive system. Okay? If you are in the culinary world, you have a restaurant, you do the food service, those kind of things. That what you have to know when you prep your food, you prepare your food, is called fat tom. FATTOM. Fat tom. This is when the food went bad because you have food like acidic, then you have acid, from whatever is coming in, the chicken, all those things, they have acids in there. And then the time that you left it outside of the temperature, room temperature, you know, because sometimes your room is getting hot real quick, and then your room it start to get rotten. If you have a lot of moisture, temperature, and it's the temperature, if you have a lot of that, especially inside your package, when you buy the food, sometimes they have a lot of the uh, frozen look at it, just for example, frozen, right? Everything is contained, and then you take it out to room temperature, so it starts thawing out, and you got a lot of moisture. And if you leave onto table too long, that you going to start getting heat that try to penetrate in there, and then your food can get rotten, even though you okay, it's vacuum filled, but it's a room temperature. It's different. That what will cause a problem. And then if your pack it leak, you know, like your back is broken, and then you see frozen in there, that is oxygen going into your package. That what going to cause the food, the damage to food to get mold, get all kind of things. And then if you in the freezer, it could be refrigerator, freezer burning, so that and then the fruit will dry out and the quality become less. Okay, and then the moisture, that's what it make a lot of problem because the food had high protein. Okay, acidity, the pH that what we talk about 4.5, those kind of thing, and then the pH will start changing too when the temperature, when you root it, your food it get rotten, so like have the bacteria like this. Okay, the the time is more or less you take it out from the refrigerator or you put it on the table to try to prep. More of the time, if you prep a lot of food, you know, it takes a long time before. This is specifically you have to watch out for the meat, seafood, vegetable is okay. You can do whatever you want, but when everything that have protein on it, or have meat, have those those things that it's going to raise the temperature, and then that what it could have. This is the limit time, more or less 4 hours. If you take it out, you have to prep it within that time. So if the meat is too big, that will take a long, long time. When you try to for restaurant, we have good rotation, so we don't have that much problem. But at home, you have to when you buy things from Costco, those kind of things. So you have to make it small pieces before you freeze it or put it in refrigerator. If you put the whole thing in there, even though the temperature, wrap around your temperature inside your refrigerators, you know, it's about 42, 45, 37, whatever you put in there. So because the outside is cool, but inside is still hot because the cold temperature can lead in the center of the that what it start getting problem, getting bacteria within itself. Sometimes you take it out and cut it, you can smell right away because that it starts fermentation inside because cold outside, warm inside, you could get the bacteria. Okay, the proper temperature if you go to that is the freezer is below 41 is the temperature you know that you put it outside, those kind of thing, that if the temperature go above 100, that we're going to have problem. You have to really shorten time frame that you take it out to put it back in certain time that short into to 2 hour or one within 1 hour. You have to prep and then put it back in the refrigerator because if your specimen, your food, leave it outside and temperature start raising, to 100, 135, and then you got the bacteria coming in. Okay, like oxygen, moisture, those kind of thing is a part of the combination of the it gonna cause food poisoning. Okay, because the bacteria go between, the 20 to 50 Celsius, or it goes 70 degree from room temperature to 120 when the temperature raises up, because 120 is that high. The bacteria start growing. Okay, if you go below that, okay, if you go above that, that's a hot food you already cooked, those kind of thing. So understand this chart a little bit, so you'll be okay. All right, because you need to know this is fat tom, because you say, oh, I cook good food, I cook this food, that food. Okay, how many hours you left the food outside your refrigerator before you cook, because you didn't know that you create the poison. The food become deteriorating and probably got, whatever bad food in there. Sometimes get mold real quick. You just try to clean the mold and cook it again. Or when I cook, it's going to be, good. It's okay. But that is you already contaminated, and then you cook. Sometimes you don't cook totally. You know, like you make salad, you grill barbecue real quick, but outside it cook, inside still have, some juice, some water in there, but your bacteria is there with you, okay, and you eat it. That's not that what very, very important to understand it, because this is how the food industry, when you have to take the test to understand this, so and most of the people cannot explain it, okay? Now I give it to you. Now you learn it, you understand it, just use it. Okay? It's going to help you out in the long run. So I'm going to give you a practical food safety zone. This is applied to a restaurant, applied to your house. Everybody have to learn how to recognize it. Keep the temperature. When you do hot food, you keep temperature above 145. Okay? That means if you say your hot food, but when you measure the temperature, it come out 100, that's not hot food. That is you just about to get problem with uh, the bacteria which to start. And when you reheat the food, right, you don't just do it, if you reheat the food, you have to bring it up to 165, and you have at least 15 seconds, to make sure that the food is properly heating up. Because sometimes I put in there, it probably less than 10 seconds, you take it out, and then you still partially warm, not too hot, those kind of thing. So be careful with that to reheat the food. And when you reheat the food, since diabetic cooking, you have to be careful with the plastic that you wrap, like a saran wrap. Most people they have the food on the plate, have saran wrap, and shove it in the microwave, and that way you're going to get the plastic, because if we heat it up, your plastic, we heat it up, they start giving the plastic particle, and that go into your food, and that's what you eat. Just use something else, use another plate to cover if you worry about spilling, okay? Or you don't cover it at all. Just do the way it is. And another thing is, styrofoam and plastic plate, those kind of things, don't put in the microwave, because the styrofoam is the word, it's going to come out real fast. The plastic. Styrofoam it come from the plastic because it's a petroleum product too. So just watch out for that. Try not to do it due to the plate to do it, the ceramic plate to do it. Okay, because when we talk about the danger zone, the danger zone is between 41 to 140. That the dangers of this bacteria go, because a minute you have something, you take it out refrigerator and they start thawing out, because that the bacteria start reacting, they'll still survive. you know it come on this part. you know that why we have to be careful. Whatever you do, you take the food out of the refrigerator, you have to prep it real quick and put it back to refrigerator, especially the meat, seafood, those kind of thing. Okay, and then this is the temperature to hot food cooling. When you got the food, it's 135, really hot, so you're going to cool it down. If you do that, you need at least 2 hours to cool it down, like a room temperature, those kind of thing. You don't put the under the ice, those kind of thing, because you need about 2 hours to reach from 135 to 70. Okay, that's a lot of work. This is a lot of restaurant challenge. Okay, you sometimes have hot food. You can keep it hot food, but your food is cannot serve hot, so you have to serve room temperature. Those kind of, yeah, it take about 2 hours to do it, because you try to do like put the eye on there, put in the eye box, because that we're going to ruining your food. So that is that industry standard. It's from 135 to 70, take 2 hours. You know, if the 70, when you got 70, you want to cool it, right? Now, yeah, it's going to take about 4 hours. That's almost half the day you sit in there before you put it in the freezer. Okay, that you cannot put the hot food or warm food, uh, put in the packet and put it in a refrigerator right away. You're going to got problem, because if the bacteria start growing, so and you got, because you bring the moisture in there, you still have some oxygen in it in your package, so then what you got problem with. Okay. This is the industry standard. If you are in the food industry, everybody have to learn how to do this and understand it. Okay, like it's always when you want like a, okay, I have something to keep it warm. What kind of temperature you could set in your oven? It's always at 170. That's what you want to do. If you go 171, 172, you start cooking your food again. Just try to keep it at room temperature. I went because I do a lot of catering for people. That I go to their house. I use their stove. They do like, those people never understand what temperature I'm going to keep my food warm, constantly warm, so that you don't have the problem with your texture, your flavor, nothing is changing. 170, you're not cooking. Whatever is come out there, you stay there for a long time, to go 1, 2 hours, the kind of thing that you can do. It's more than that, because they will start cooking. And if your temperature range more than 170, like a 171, 172, 173, keep on fluctuation above 170, then you gotta have the problem with your food. If you fry food, it becomes soggy. If you have, you know, uh, curly, you have all those kind of things, you start changing the color. So you want to maintain all those quality for you to your customer, or if you cook for your family, it's okay. You just say whatever you want. Oh, I forgot, that kind of thing. But it is safety. So this is keep your food, I mean, presentable. Okay. And if you have to warm it in the water bath, the water have to be 180 degree. Okay, that's the standard. If you prep time 2 to 4 hours, 41 to 70 degree, that room temperature and slightly cool, you'll be okay. But 41, you can not do much. If you have to deal with the meat, it's usually when you take it out, when the temperature is around 50, you start prep. Okay, and then by the time become room temperature, you finish, and then you put it back in the refrigerator. Okay. This is, I hope, useful for people who learn how to prep the food yourself. This is just a safety precaution for you to understand. This is a safety zone in culinary world. All right, I give it to you. Take it. You will love it. Why did I say food storing temperature is important now? Because more the people don't pay attention, especially in the men. Before they buy everything, they just buy this, buy that, and then when they come home, they just shove everything all at one wherever have space. So in reality is you ruin your thing, and you in your food inside your refrigerator. You get mold and everything go mold. So those kind of things. So this is what is the Panasonic. I take that as an example for temperature zone in the fridge. So if you buy your new fridge, you should take a look at this, okay, and understand what to do with it. What kind of temperature, that like a refrigerator compartment, the vegetable drawer, the number two, the compartment one, compartment two, compartment three, this is not compartment, this is shelf, okay? And this is vegetable drawer because usually you put everything in there, but you don't. A lot of people like to hide the food like that. Okay, if you can separate it or it's still in the plastic bag, this is okay because assuming it clean. So otherwise, usually some people really anal about it. They will wash vegetable and put in the container and stack it up nicely. Okay, and this one, the lower one, the chill. Because a lot of people they will put a lot of things that not supposed to be like cheese, those kind of things that whatever they try it here because this is cooler than that. That it's hotter when the air temperature coming out and you it raise it high up the coal, you lose the strength of the coal. Okay, that's why they have compartment for you. And then you got the freezer, so anything you want to freeze. See on the side, you see that there we will go a little bit deeper to what thing you can use, to what thing you can store. Again, see like the eggs. A lot of people put egg down below here. Oh, keep it cool better, but that's not good because when it's too cool, what happened was it inside it cooking is getting hard, become frozen. Even though you put it up right here, it will be frozen. You put it that for a long time because the air coming out from here, the hot air suck it back in, the cold air coming out, the circulation of this, and that's what you cook your eggs that way. Just be careful, okay? So when you refrigerated food, this is what I wanted to keep it to you to see how bad it is that you people don't pay attention on this because if you pile everything in like this, right, you don't have a good airflow. But suddenly, this thing on top of that, the milk not supposed to be in here. You put it in there, and then you block all the heat in there, and then suddenly, oh, I have the chicken, but my chicken can run real quick. What happened? You don't have enough airflow inside your refrigerator. And if you are the champion, I call them the man cave version. So I see a lot of my friends doing this, stuck it in there, and then the wife come in, start complaining. So and then they say, then they will start arguing. They say, "Oh, you asked me to buy it, so I bought it. I don't know where to put. I just shove it in there. You do it, arrangement, that kind of thing." And then another thing that you don't do, you don't want to put anything in that metal in there. Have the food inside and put in refrigerator is not good idea because if the drink, you fry because it's a rotation. This thing sometimes it stay there for months. That's not good. And then you try to, because the temperature go is not constantly 39 degree, or 36 degree to go fluctuation because they have cold air coming in, take the hot air out, that's a circulation. And then suddenly you open your thing inside, you take it out, you open it, and why the color change? Why it start getting something weird and then you destroy your fruit, like especially piece of pear, you try it, keep it for a month, you will see the pear look like what it is. So those kind of thing. This is the man cave version. Try not to do it, okay? And this is nice. It's like the Supremo version, those kind of thing. But one bad thing is you put too much in it. You stack it out all this fine. You don't have enough airflow, okay? The practical setting is 36 degree, 36 to 39 Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, you do calculations for, for yourself. Okay, this is when it's 36. In my restaurant, I set the temperature at 37 because we open more often. Every somebody orders something, I need to use it, you open it. So then you lose the cool, you know, those kind of thing. As in my house, I set it 39 degrees, those kind of thing. So practical testing. Because if you go like, the 41 degree, 42 degree, it's good. But if you want to keep food longer, you get a little bit cooler. But minimum 41, 42 is good. But if you want to really keep it, because you have all the drawer, all those kind of thing, and it's good airflow, so you 41, that's what I set in my at home. And then why I want a 41, 39, because I got go down to 39, 36, those kind of thing, and then I got all the my food is become frozen. 41, 42 with a good rotation in your food in a home refrigerator. That's the way to go. Okay, because when you are in the food industry, they will make you learn what are the things you put stack it up to your system. Before I didn't understand when I do this. I say, oh, fish, it's so stinky, so much problem. I put it all the way down here, like treat them like a chicken, because they got a lot of meat. And sometimes you have a big fish, but the fish it doesn't go rotten faster than the chicken. So because if you keep it cool, you got a top part it's cool, it's not this the lower part is cooler, right? That part is little really warm. You want to cook like put like a cake, like a, something that you cook, then that should be up there when it's cool. But if because when temperature is cold, it will fall down. If temperature is hot, it will rise. So that the thing that you have to know, okay? And the beef and roast, those kind of thing, the ham, those kind of thing. This is you haven't cut it yet, okay? But you cut it, you make it ground meat. That what it was, it dense. So you have to go a little bit cooler because the temperature can penetrate, go all the way in. But try not to put things like this, when you have the ground meat. Just separate it out to where, okay, 2 part or 3 part, whatever it is, to make sure that the cool temperature goes inside your ground meat or ground turkey, ground vegetable. This is the concept. This is what you have to understand that. Don't put the cake down here, then you get audit if your temperature falling apart and suddenly you didn't know your refrigerator broke and the fish starts to melt, then everything coming down to there and going to your meat, going to your poultry, going to all the thing is contaminate the whole thing, then you have to throw everything out. So to make sure that just pay attention a little bit about, stack up your food in your refrigerator. Okay? Thank you for listening. I love you. Now, I'm going to talking about we beware potentially hazardous food because like a TCS in food industry they call TCS. That means time temperature control for safety food. Okay, this is certified by ANSI, American National Science Association, something like that. I forget the translation of that. That they're the one who established it, okay? Because you have to, because the food it requires time and temperature to control for safety, okay? If you have tofu, cooked tofu or raw tofu, those kind of thing, if you leave it out too long in the room temperature, or either you fry or not fry, and then it potentially become hazardous food. Okay, by without you knowing it. So you eat all those kind of things because it's a tofu like a fried tofu. If you leave it out or you put it in the refrigerator for a long time, you start seeing it slimy. Or a minute you open the bag, is you can smell the rotten, the tofu, the soybean. So that why they get a potential hazard. Your temperature, refrigerator temperature have to be good within the range, and don't leave the food for a long time, like 2 3 weeks in your refrigerator. That's why I try to train all my students in the new section of the new student for diabetes. They have to know this because how long they can keep, okay, in the refrigerator. Because I mean, if the color change, time to throw, okay, or smell coming out, time to throw. The same thing at the meat and pork and lamb, that everything has something to do with temperature, okay. Milk, the same thing, milk product. This is another thing that people didn't know. A lot of it, you have rice, cooked rice, bean, all the carbohydrate, okay. Did it get rotten real quick if you put it outside, in the room temperature? It will probably take about half of the day or 1 day, and then you start smelling because they will get rotten real quick because of the air, the temperature and the air. So, and this is another one, the soybean that they cook, you know, or good sandwich, those kind of thing. This is a potential hazard more than anything else. That what if you look into what is the soy protein food, and how you procurement of the safety of these, because that we can turn out getting rotten faster. Okay, and then the same thing with the fish, the priority and sprout. I want to mention a little bit of the sprout here. The sprout is gotten rotten real quick too, even though the temperature is right in the refrigerator, because the shelf life is very short. Okay, and if you leave it too long and you eat it, you got bad diarrhea right away. It will give it to you. Okay, and the melon is the same way, because you see, oh, have a lot of water inside there, that should stay a long time, because the water inside is been tapped. Outside is cold, inside still warm. You leave the big piece of it. If you cut it in half, you will see your melon. It doesn't last for more than a week. Everything start collapse. Those kind of thing. Even though have a lot of water, but the temperature, the surface area, the thickness of the food is different. So just be careful with that. The policy, everybody, egg shelf, with the shelf. So you have to be careful with it. You don't put only on the top, the top drawer or top shelf, whatever it is, because it will start cooking because the fluctuation of temperature. I already mentioned that, and your baked potato or boiled potato. When you cook, this is start almost the same thing as rice. It become rotten real quick, become toxic. It get bad real quick. One more, this another thing here, the garlic, the raw garlic in the olive oil, okay, the mixture. If you leave outside with the room temperature, it'll be gone probably more than 2 3 days, not more than that. You put in the refrigerator now, it start fermented because the garlic have gas, and then it start cause the problem. You know, whatever you try to do, and then you try to eat it. Sometimes you put it too long in the refrigerator, you open it, you smell the garlic punching out to your face, go to your nose, those kind of thing. This is that you have to be careful with. All of these can be toxic if you don't properly store them. Okay, especially the shellfish. Mostly I buy the shellfish in. If you go to the fancy place, so then you got a good quality. But if like you go to Costco, you go, although the quality is not superb, but it's eatable. And most of the time, in the US, I see it everywhere in the world, because they have to do repack, because this thing can keep the odor. This thing can change the color. What they do, they within a week they come in and then they clean it again, brunch it with some watching, the to preserve the color, the quality, look, just for the look, and the meat is start deteriorating. Sometimes they use what you call the color coat that just soak into the color, so you come out it look good. But when you open it, it's inside and it not that fresh, better off for me. This is for me only. Better off to do the frozen. Okay. But it's a shelf like this, frozen, if they're frozen with a shelf, they cannot sell them that much because people doesn't like them and then they weigh too much and they don't like to have that in the refrigerator, or frozen because they would rather to remove all the shelves, okay? And then they freeze the meat. But when the solution that they want to preserve the meat before the refrigerator, it's more than the salt. So the salt water no more than that. So just be careful with this too. But if you can eat them, if you can get them live, then you cook yourself, you'll be safer but more expensive. If you rich, you okay. If you're not, you just take a look and draw, sit down and draw. So when it's my turn, that kind of thing. Okay, this is the hazardous food that you have to watch out. Okay, having fun yet? So this is they call the big eight. The big eight. A lot of people didn't understand. If you in the food industry, you will know the big eight is a food allergy. In order to know allergy, sometimes your body you can tell by itself. Like for me, when I drink alcohol with coconut juice or coconut milk, then I got rash. That the allergy. Some people eat sesame, they suddenly they got rash all those kind of thing. But this is the thing that we have to be aware of it. So some people cannot eat eggs, some people cannot drink milk, some people cannot eat fish. Especially the shellfish, a lot of people have problem with it. I mean, if you eat it in there, if you have allergy, if you come out to your mouth, suddenly your mouth, your lip is about 3 times bigger. Those kind of things. So you are better to, you know, I don't know here. I never done in the U.S. In Thailand, I go in and check for what kind of allergy you have, and then you sitting there with them. They want you to eat this, want you to eat that, look at the thing. They will look at your reaction, and then suddenly you find out, and then they go to confirm with the blood that they do the allergies that from the allergy that you have this, you have that, you have not, or which one is suspicious, or they will give you all the information. Okay, some people doesn't like tree nut. Okay, got allergy with it. The peanut is a lot of people in this country is a peanut problem. Maybe I say, oh, you get a lot of peanut butter for your sandwich. So, and then when they try to package, the peanut sauce, to try to do the commercial to do the package. Got a lot of problem. I never get past the taste for that because the peanut when you cook it, if the temperature, people have a lot of allergy. That the first complaint, the second complaint, it will give gas. No matter what you do, the gas will come out, and suddenly your packet is swollen, those kind of thing, and you don't have good shelf life. People that do commercially that they have to grind it down. But for me, I want to do it like a coarsely ground that will cause problem. So when they grind it down, it's okay, but then the taste change, and what the point? So then I wouldn't do that. Let my recipe is from the restaurant. I sell a lot of those people come. Oh, can I buy the half of pound of your salt, those kind of thing. You have to order ahead, so then that we do it for the when I do it. Okay, and this one is the peanut sauce, Thai peanut sauce that they call satay sauce. It's very popular in my YouTube because it's got about 20,000 people watching it now, I think, because it's simple, easy, and then everybody love them, you know, because of uh, the taste, the flavor, and the texture. And this one, like you can use that, you know, if you bought it from me, you know, you can use that because the rotation you have to eat it within 2 3 weeks because otherwise you put in refrigerator you still have problem and try not to put in a plastic bag those kind of thing. So that what it's all about. It is good sell, good recipe, and I give it for free to. I have the demo doing, you know, cooking in, uh, uh, cooking the dish on the video, so you can go in there. Classical Thai Cooking 3534. That's my channel in YouTube. So you will see that one easily. A lot of people look at it, and then it pretty clear, straightforward what to do. That I show you how I do like that for the you know restaurant and the catering. This is how we do them like that, and then the recipe will never change. And it it original, you know, the classical Thai cooking that what it come from. Then a lot of people have wheat, you know, eat a lot of wheat, a lot of bread, and then that what they have the leaky gut come from there a lot, majority. And the soybean, a lot of people have problem with soybean, and then they will always say, "Oh, can you not to put, you know, like I want." Pad Kee Mao, you know, drunken noodle. Or you don't put the soybean in there, you know, like I say, what the hell you talk about soybean? Oh, you talk about CU, you know, the the soybean sauce, the oyster sauce, soy sauce. That what they were talking about soy sauce. Don't put it in there. They know you can because if you do pad Kee Mao or pad see ew, especially pad see ew is all soy sauce. So three different kinds of soy sauce in there. So when you have allergy, that's what you have to learn how to pick your food. You know, if you go by popularity, this problem, this is good, this is so good, and then you have an allergy with soybean, then you cannot eat it. That's why you want to know about Thai cooking when you like Thai food and you know what kind of food, then you can make good decision because the recipe is not going to, I mean, the ingredient not going to be far off, but the technique or the food quality or the flavor, the taste is different because depend on who learn to do what from who. Okay, this is the food allergy that you have to watch out. Okay, anything you have allergy to this, allergy to that. If you go to Thailand, you see street food and they do it by order, you can tell them I have allergic problem with this. uhคือว่า like oh I have a problem that มีปัญหา I cannot eat this, I cannot eat that. Those kind of thing. You tell them not to put it in there, then they will do that for you because the street food every time you do they will create it for you unless they only make it at home or coming in or they make a big lot of it and then you can they're not going to do it special for you because they don't have time for that. Okay, because they have to sell, they have to make money, so just be careful. That's why you learn how to cook yourself, then you'll be okay, safer, more delicious if you know how to balance it. Okay, that's all it's about, the allergy. So the hidden of MSG, that one I give only one example in MSG which is now it's approved by FDA, so it be safe. But this is for preservative mode of it that they do, okay? And they put that when they do Thai cooking, you come from the north or northeast, and some South people do, they love to eat the MSG called Ajinomoto. So it's monosodium glutamate. So now you can do it for preserve your food, but you when you do in Thai cooking, street food, those kind of thing, or the people who come from that part, they love to put that one in there but to enhance the flavor. Okay, and they have many, many, many names. So in the French, how they call pong churros, pong wan. Those is the central people. The Bangkok is always pong churros. It's straightforward. If you go to the south, they call mi jing. So sometimes we don't know what it mi jing is. So you have to ask the local people. Oh, what do you mean? It's Ajinomoto, because the Ajinomoto is like the common name for the central. Everybody understand it. And then you go to the north eastern, it called Pong Nua. That it's the same thing. Ajinomoto. You go to the north, they call Pong Nua or Pong uh, Pieng Nua or Pong Nua, something like that. So everything it end up with Nua. Nua it means delicious. So it means Ajinomoto. It means that MSG. Okay. And then the Japanese is Ajinomoto. And then Pong Roti. This is a part of it. They have the MSG plus some other ingredient like that they put it in there, and then they become for flavor enhancing, those kind of things. Just when you do the flavoring of your food, to balance the taste or those kind of thing. So you don't need that. This is what you can do, the fish salt sugar, that pretty much standard in classical Thai cooking. And then you have spice, you have herb, you have some condiment that you use for, some specific dish and stick with the natural ingredient. And then alcohol use, I want to tell you this a little bit because like Italian, when they do food, those kind of thing, they like to put the alcohol in. The European, the French, they do that. But in the classical Thai cooking, especially the Bangkok food, we use alcohol to marinate the food. Okay, we don't marinate with other thing else. If you want to be really tender, like we use alcohol make with raw papaya meat, those kind of things you chop in there and put in there to just to marinate your meat, a pineapple or those kind of thing. But the base is always still have alcohol in there because the alcohol you have can have brandy or whiskey, those kind of thing. That's the 40% proof alcohol, those kind of things. So it could help break down your meat easily, make your meat smooth, tender, those kind of thing. That's what we use in the Thai cooking. Okay, so a lot of people they don't use if they come from other part of Thailand, they will use the other powder. What do you call the one who I use for cleaning? It's now, what the word say, I forget, is in the lip of my tongue, is what did that? It's the baking soda, those kind of thing. They try to tenderize the meat with baking soda, those kind of thing. So you don't need any of those. You try to stick with it. If you can do marinate it, alcohol, do that. Or pineapple or raw papaya, you know, those kind of things. A lot of the thing because those things go to help tenderize the meat. Okay, and the marinating time is very very important because sometimes if you do marinating, if you don't give enough time, your marinating ingredient doesn't go into the meat. So that what you have to understand that. So usually the beef, chicken, pork, whatever the meat like that is at least minimum 2 hour, minimum 2 hour, and that not should not go uh, more than 4 hour in Thai cooking, because your meat is small. You're gonna cut it the bite size, and if you eat the whole thing, you make the whole thing like a pork roll, the rack of pork, those kind of thing. So you take it probably can go to 6 hours, but you have to marinate them. After you marinate it, you put in there, you wrap it and put it in the refrigerator. So that is going to preventing from, get your food contaminated. Okay. And for the taste of perfection, you don't need MSG, because you know how to balance the taste in my cooking class, or whatever you do in my video, you will understand what you're talking about. Because every dish that you cook, you have to know what it's supposed to taste like. Not that you just throw in there and then put it in your mouth. Ooh, tastes good. And what it's good mean to you, okay? If you follow me all along for this video, you will understand it, how to do it, how to recognize it, and what we are talking about. Okay? Having fun yet? So, Thai food, you cannot live without stench, because a lot of things stinches because it's aromatic. So we think that it drawing your saliva out. You draw when you smell like that. Oh my God, I want to eat it. I want to taste it. But it very, very intense aroma. Okay, so we aware of that, because like shrimp paste like this is shrimp paste like this. Okay, that is the most stinking of all, because they're so fishy. You know, you most men understand fishy is. When you go down there, you know what it is. So just watch out for that. So, and then you have fish sauce, it's a fishy again. You know, fermented tofu, that is, the rotten of the soybean, those kind of things. So that's soybean fermented. That's what it tastes like. It really punching to, you know, you can make it from, the same thing as vegetable, that they preserve it. Some preserve it, vinegar, or some preserve it with water, and with the vinegar, is a lot of smell, because they use distilled vinegar to do the fermentation, that kind of thing, and that really heavily strong, okay? And preserved meat, preserved seafood, that kind of thing. That sometimes when they cook the meal, it doesn't have the flavor, that the aroma, or that they want, so they will use the uh, extraction from the animal, or like we have some kind of the what you call the hand, uh, it's called mangda. I don't know what in Thai call that. Uh, it have very, very good aroma for the Thai taste, and foreigner that like it, they say, oh, what it that kind of smell. So what they do, they manage to extract that aroma in there, and then they put into your food. So it called Nam Prik Mangla. It's one certain kind of dip. So that they put in there. Some motor foreigner don't take it, especially the white people, because it smell. It's for us smell nice. Make your appetizer. You can increase your appetizer. You want to eat more, those kind of thing. Encourage you to eat more vegetable, those kind of thing. So, but the foreigner didn't understand what the hell we talking about. And then you have about intense aroma now, the way they preserve it. some they do preserve with water within a jar or kind of thing, soury, salty, sugary. That's why you have to watch out for the diabetes because a lot of things that they put the sugar in the even though they're preservative, there's sometimes it's sugary in there. Oil is okay, and then dry. This is another one. It dry away the white people, the Western because the you have a intense smell, like a fishy or rotten smell, those kind of thing. But that for the Thai people, it's the delicacy. What you call it's we've been eating that for a long time because they that preservative. Because every year they have harvest the fish, the squid, the shrimp, those kind of thing. So they're overwhelming. So they have to dry them. So they dry them in the air, and then wherever you go, you walk by or you drive by, you can smell all it. Yeah, but in the Thai, it's delicacy for us. But for the other people, we don't know. The Filipino have it. Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Laos have all these kind of things. So then if you go to Thailand, don't try to make face. Just smiling. Okay, here we go. Chef Pan told you what you're going to see, what you can smell. Okay, just don't make fun of them because they will get angry. Okay, thank you for your cooperation.